All right, today is September 16th. I want to talk today about the question, how do I study? So I'm sure your teachers, your parents, and maybe lots of other people have told you that you need to study your notes, you need to study for class, you need to study for tests, and you definitely do. It's 100% true. Only thing is they never tell you how to study. So today I want to show you one of the ways that I study. What we have here is we have my notes from English class, which I took about a book you're going to read next month called To Kill a Mockingbird. And I've got everything I need up at the top. I got my name, I got the topic, learning goal, be able to identify author's point of view, and I have my essential questions. Then I took notes in class. I took the notes on Monday. And then on Wednesday, I went back and I made up some really tough questions about the book that will make me think and hopefully understand the story a little bit better. So the first question I asked, what is the same about the book and Harper Lee's life? And I got this question by looking at my notes, and I see that there are a lot of things that are the same. So I might go back into the book, I might ask a friend, I might do something to find out what did the author have in common with the main character that they created. And that would be something we could definitely argue about. Next question is, what are the lessons Scout learns in the book? And right next to it, I have one of the answers because all the questions come from my notes. So what are the lessons Scout learns in the book? Scout learns to look at things from other people's perspective. That's one of the lessons. There are others. Again, we could argue about that. Next question I made up based on my notes. What are the elements of a Gothic novel? And the answer is right here in my notes. It says the town is falling apart. That's one element of a Southern Gothic novel. So obviously there are other things in this book, when you read it next month, you can look for that'll be elements of a Southern Gothic novel. Last question I made up, because I only need to make up 4. What is the author trying to say about women's role in this time? And it says here, the answer is Mayella Ewell can't go to school. She has to stay home and take care of other kids and is treated as property. So there might be other examples in the book that I need to look for, what the author is saying about women at the time this book was written, which is about 1960. So one of the things that you're going to do, I'll walk around and help you, is you guys are going to create questions for your notes. And these will be questions that will be on a test. For example, someone early in the day asked the question for their notes. This is a good question. How does gravity work? And that will definitely be on one of your science tests. If you're talking about that in class, great. You want to ask questions about things you're talking about in class. And really, this is a question that I think not many people in the room, not many freshmen I've met, can answer that question on how gravity works. Other question comes from math class. What is the difference between a coefficient and a variable? And there was lots of arguing about the answer to that question because no one seems to know 100% what the difference between a coefficient and a variable is from math class. There's one at the bottom. Someone asked this question during second period. Yeah, it's a science question. It definitely is a science question, but it's not a question you'll ever see on a test or quiz. So really, it's a waste of time to make this question up because you don't need to know this for a test or quiz. Only if you get hired as a scientist, and your job is to work with animals, will you have to ever answer that question. So we want to focus on questions like the ones up here, which we're going to see on tests, and we want to be able to ask good questions that are tough and we argue about. So again, what you guys are doing, you guys are going to look at your notes, and you are going to make up 4 questions that are tough questions we can argue about, and that will be questions you expect to see on a test or quiz. All right.